Yeah. It's the right colour for what I'm after.
All I have to do now is get a close look at its teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I can see stripes. I can see stripes. So I think this is it.
My guide Tullio confirms this is the river tiger, also known here as the piraju. But I know this fish as the golden Dorado, a creature I've only seen a couple of times before.
It's just like a living bar of gold.
So gold, they named it twice. Dorado is also the Spanish word for golden, as in the fabled city of El Dorado. This muscle-packed beast is a vigorous fighter and isn't taken easily. Its stamina on the line is legendary. And beneath its glittering gill plates, the hefty jaw muscles that are the source of its phenomenal biting power.
Right, I don't want to get too close, but that definitely has teeth there. And I'm thinking particularly if you get near the angle of that jaw, it's going to be a bit like a bolt cutter.
The saw-like rows of teeth are partially concealed by flesh, but when pressure's applied, they sink in deep. I've heard Dorado can grow to around 70 pounds. I can scarcely imagine the damage a big one might inflict.
This diving vein here, that will send it down deep. I'm expecting this to work fairly close to the bottom in this coastal bit of water here. There's also a little bit of a rattle there. So this is actually working on different channels. It's sending out visual cues, but also there's vibration in the water. Floating down, floating, 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 and then down it goes. I mean, that's good. That shows the lure is working well. That nice bounce of the rod tip there. The chances are a fish might first pick up not on the visual flash of the lure, it might first actually feel that vibration. Head towards it, then it'll move in for the strike.
It's not long before something takes my lure.
Yep. It's interesting. This is sort of heavy, but it's not really running. It's coming in. Just a flash. There it is. There it is. There it is. It's going down again.
It's a golden snapper, and it's pretty well armed.
This is a very spiky fish. What a beautiful fish. What a lovely coloration. Big eyes. Suggests a sight predator. Big mouth. Well, that just confirms that it's a hunter. It is a predator. Teeth in there. They're not very big teeth, but that's basically if it grabs something, whatever it is, it's not going to get away.
It's a fearsome predator, but they only grow to a couple of feet, and their teeth are too small to inflict the life-threatening puncture wounds I'm investigating. I'm going to try a different approach by using to my advantage the strong currents that swirl around the island. Maybe it was scent rather than sight that brought in the predators that night.
There's a whole sardine on the end here, and the boat is drifting, so we're just going to slowly drift. We'll keep some chum going in the water, just to bring the small stuff in, get some activity going, and hopefully bring in the bigger predators.
Oils from these pieces of fish leave scent trails in the water, and the predators here quickly find my bait. Something fast almost empties my reel.
Fish took right next to the boat. Look at that thing go, leaping in the air.
The fish is desperately trying to throw the hook. Then my line goes slack.
Is it off? What? Oh, no, it's still there. It's just running towards me. If I had any doubt about these waters being rich, here's a bit of confirmation there. Oh, this is a good-sized Dorado on.
This clearly isn't a silvery assailant, but it is a powerful predator in its own right and worth a closer look.
Beautiful fish, look at that. Dorado means gold, but look at all the blue on there. Also known as Mahi-Mahi dolphin fish.
Those acrobatic leaps are totally in character for a hunter that takes out flying fish.
It's still got a lot of strength actually, I can feel it flexing.
But despite their obvious strength and agility, Dorados have never been known to pose a threat to humans.
Off he goes. Ooh, strong fish.
The thing is, there's loads of predators in these waters, so I've got a bait on the bottom here, but there's lots of other species that could pick it up. There's no way really to single out the electric eel. I know I'm doing the right thing to catch one, but something else could beat it to the bait.
Because I don't want to get a nasty shock when I catch an electric eel, I'm taking some precautions. The nylon line I'm using won't conduct electricity, so I'll be safe while bringing it in. Then, once I get it to the boat, I have a thick pair of rubber boots and gloves, which means I'll be able to handle it without getting shocked. We've attracted a pod of Amazon River dolphins.
You might think that they're going to take a nice tasty dead fish, but actually they have this echolocation ability, which is a bit like X-ray vision, and they know that there's a hook there and they won't take it.
But there's something big down there that hasn't sensed the hook.
Good size fish, good size fish.
Is this the electric eel I've been looking for? Whatever it is, it's putting up a powerful fight.
I don't think this is an electric eel. It's too strong.
The back 4/5 of an electric eel's body is mostly used to produce electricity. It doesn't have the muscle to put up a struggle like this.
Oh yeah, see the bubbles coming up? That's a big red-tailed catfish, big red-tailed catfish.
Out of the water, it gulps in air, blowing it out through its gill flaps.
Got it. This is what they call a pirarara here, which is, well, in English we call it red-tailed catfish, very, very obvious reason. And, I mean, just a wonderful coloration it's got as well. Dark back, this very clear line between the dark and the light. This mottling of brown spots as well. Very strong fish, but it tends to not have the stamina. But, I mean, another thing to remark about this fish, it's about a third of the body is head, huge head. Very capacious mouth. It's got loads of small teeth, so that's really just for gripping. If it gets a fish that it can't totally inhale all at once, oops, with the muscular jaw and those teeth, it's not going to get away. Look at this. This river is just full of predators. There's a big chunk of fin missing there.
I get the fish back in the water so it can recover before I let it go.
But this proves my point, what I was saying earlier on. You throw a bit of dead fish in this river and there's anything that could take it. It could be an electric eel, that's what I was hoping for, but it could just as likely be one of these red-tailed catfish.
That was a great catch, but unfortunately it's not the fish I'm after. Now, with this new suspect on my radar, I want to find out for myself how strong this beast really is.
There's a known halibut spot that we're going to, and what I'm trying to do is prepare myself mentally for catching this fish. The other thing that's on my mind is that big ones, people around here, they don't try and get them in the boat intact and then return them. If they bring them in the boat, they're going to kill them. They're either going to shoot them in the water, they're going to club them, they're going to harpoon them, gaff them. I don't want to do any of that, but that is introducing a whole new layer of challenge. How to get a close look at a big fish without injuring it or me is not really something that anybody's particularly tried to do before. So it's definitely going to be a very challenging day.
Fishermen here just don't tangle with large, live halibut. But I want to get a good look at this creature and then put it back alive.
This region around here looks a little bit like Jurassic Park. Amazing fishing spot. Very hard to believe that there could be halibut here. This isn't very deep. I was going to say I can't wait to get a line in the water, but what I've heard about some of these fish, it's one of those moments where you're slightly hesitant about the process as well.
I'm using a large plastic jig on 100-pound braided line and dropping it onto the seabed just 30 feet below. The sea floor is the halibut's domain, and I'm hoping to tempt a monster onto my line.
Yes, it's sort of...
It doesn't take long.
Yeah. Should I bring that in? That's something already. There it is, there it is, there it is. Ah, running at the surface. I'm going to let it just go, tire itself out. Oh, off it goes again. Off it goes again. And that's fat. Oh. So whatever that was has escaped.
It felt like it was a good-sized fish. I reset and hope I haven't let the big one slip away.
That's something on there. This is not big, but it's something on there.
It's not what I'm looking for. It's a rockfish, one of the creatures I first saw when I was looking for sharks underwater.
China rockfish. A lot of fish showing up on the sonar, so this was mid-water. Took the flashy jig on the way down.
They are some of the longest living fish in these waters, reportedly reaching over 120 years old. I want to quickly get this one back into these shallow waters.
This place here is actually a confluence, two rivers joining, and it's the kind of place it would make perfect sense for fishermen to come, because this is where the fish hang out, where the currents mix, so you get small fish feeding on the food that settles, and then you've got predators, something just hit that, waiting to feed on them. Yeah. Yep, this is something on here. Oh, and it's really changing direction quickly. I can see it, I can see it. Try and swing it in. This is a jack, which is normally a fish that you'd associate with salt water. And even if you don't fish, that is not the kind of fish you'd expect to find inland. That's a lovely looking fish though. a deep forked tail for speed. Quite a surprise catch this, whoops. And I'm going to be very interested to see where the food chain goes up from this.
The presence of a sea creature like this jack some 10 miles inland is not the first surprise of my investigation. Everything has to happen on a single breath. So before going under, we edge as close as we can to our target. But when Dar suddenly slips in and vanishes without trace, he leaves me scrambling to catch up. Bad weather has churned the water into a murky soup. And with Dar gone, I feel a stab of panic. I could easily wind up getting harpooned by mistake. The poor visibility is even hampering Dar.
It's murky down there, it's murky.
I'm having second thoughts about this. I'm starting to feel like human bait. But it's too late to pull out now. Dar is a man on a mission. When the fry break the surface barely a boat length away, we launch again. But our quarry has vanished into the murk, leaving Dar to hunt on instinct. Dar loads. I can sense we're close. Suddenly, we're in the heart of the swarm.
I think we've got one. I'm going to keep out of the way,
With a single, well-aimed shot, Dar has caught a giant snakehead.
Sitting in a boat, dangling a line over the edge, believe me, is easy in comparison.
Despite taking a direct hit, the fish simply seems to shrug it off.
Oops, doesn't like that.
Having listened to accounts of its aggressive behaviour and seen for myself the scars on Sombat's foot, I'm well aware of what this river monster is capable of.
So there we go. But that wonderful black and white coloration, that is very much something that the fry will identify with. Bright colour, it's calling to them.
I expected this fish to end up as dinner, yet in a strange twist of fate, it's almost unharmed. Dar's spear has pierced the muscle of its back, but missed its vital organs.
We're actually going to release this fish. This is catch and release spear fishing. Very nice that this is going to go back and it is going to recover. I'm just hoping it doesn't double back and have a go at me as a last farewell. She's actually free now, she can go if she wants. There she goes. Well, it's actually gone back into the lake to be reunited with the young, so really good to see. You don't expect to see that from a fish caught on a spear.
I have to strike while the iron's hot. If it's half the beast I've heard it is, it's still going to be hungry.
Fish on.
With every leap, its virtually impenetrable jaws threaten to throw my hook.
Yes!
With a head like a pit bull, this massive beast weighs in at more than 40 pounds.
This is it. This is a serious size fish. Just look at that head and look at the teeth and the size of the jaw muscles that are going to be inside that gill flap there. A bit like bolt cutters, really, those jaws, particularly near the angle. Tremendous power.
I've opened the jaws of much bigger fish without a second thought, but there's no way I'm going to try and manipulate this slippery monster's mouth.
It's actually making me think of a spring-loaded man trap. It's not so much the size or sharpness of the teeth. It's the sheer force that you've got operating on these jaws.
And if you're in any doubt, you only have to call to mind the catfish sliced in half.
Any part of human anatomy that gets in those jaws, once you're in it, you're not going to get out. They're in the process at the moment of just paying out the net. One of the two boats just pays that out in a circle, and then gradually they'll gather that in. And the bit that I'm interested in is seeing what has become concentrated in the middle of that net.
The pufferfish aren't the only things round here that bite. These murky waters are teeming with aquatic hunters.
We have a snake in the net. That was actually underneath my feet. I could actually feel something moving at some point. I just assumed it was a fish.
And it's become clear that I'm not here just to watch. Retrieving the net requires getting into the water.
I didn't actually realise that this was going to be part of the deal. Sign language, I was just told, get in the water.
If, as I now suspect, the pufferfish are biting in self-defence, then corralling them in a net is just about the last thing I should be doing. I'm starting to wonder if I'll be the next victim.
Something just got me, something just got me. I don't know what that was. I think that could have been a catfish spine or something.
With the net freed from snags, it's time to haul it in and find out what we've caught. There's a huge variety of fish, but only one of them interests me.
This is something different. This is something different. This is the fish, they tell me, that's been biting people here.
Behind its harmless appearance, this pint-sized animal packs some vicious weaponry. This is not a fish to be trifled with.
Just being very careful here. Just hoping it doesn't move suddenly. But I can see very clearly now those mouth parts.
Now that I've got one, I want to test its bite.
Ah! That was a very graphic demonstration. That's almost cut that fish in half. It's actually gone through the backbone.
This fish has a piranha-like ability to slice off bits of flesh in the blink of an eye.
And looking at that triangular wound, I'm left in no doubt that if any part of me were to touch those jaws, it would just slice clean through. We're on the way. This is moving up the food chain. So from palm grub to miniature fish, to slightly bigger fish, to top predator. It's just the essentials. It's just a hook, a little bit of wire just to protect against piranha teeth, a bit of weight, and the line. And I'm going to whirl that around my head, lob it out. That's the one. And then you're feeling with your fingers on the line, which is what I like to do with the rod, actually. You get a lot of information if there is anything moving down there.
Now, it's a waiting game.
There's something, there's something, there's something, there's something. Fish.
Something bigger than I bargained for has taken my bait.
Oh, it might be off. Tiptoe. You're going to get it in the mouth? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. That is just a beautiful, beautiful fish. More to the point, it's very encouraging. Incredible to think that a couple of hours ago, a palm nut on the floor in the forest has turned into this.
Known locally as a basher, it has a huge mouth for its size, but they don't reach anywhere near the size of a man-eater.
I don't want to speak too soon, but if things keep on this trajectory, then maybe I will get that monster that I came here for. This is a bit nerve-wracking. There's a pod of hippos over there. It's not them I'm worried about, but there's a couple of others on the fringes of the group which periodically go under and then come back up again, and they've been coming back up closer and closer. Strangely, I'm actually trying to get to the deep water because that's actually going to be safer than the shallows where the hippos and the crocs are. Hippo's very, very close. Looking this way, gone underwater. I don't like the look of this, actually.
After what I've just heard, I want to stay well clear of these hippos. They are just as dangerous in the water, and they have been known to flip boats, chomping the occupants to death. If I get on the wrong side of a hippo, especially in this tiny canoe, I'll be lucky to escape alive. But my only option is to just get on with it. If, like the local fishermen, you are dependent on the fish you catch to stay alive, you've got to work with the dangers.
Bit of a ropey old net, this. Looks like a few crocs and hippos have actually gone through this. I think it's quite good actually having something to do while I'm out here rather than just drifting on this water. The thought of what's down there, the crocs and the hippos down there. Oh, there's a fish already. So this is the tilapia. This is what the fishermen mostly catch, or what they catch in numbers in these lakes. And they don't run to a great deal bigger than this. Spiny dorsal fin, lovely bluish coloration there. Yeah, just very pretty. But the reason they're catching them is they are very, very good eating, which is what's going to happen to this one.
John and I have headed out to the reef where George's encounter happened in the hope of catching the fish that went after him. My tactic is to simply drop a piece of bait down onto the coral below to tempt whatever is down there. Just beyond the drop-off, the depth plummets from a few feet to a few hundred.
There's a fish. Oops. This is what they call a coral trout. Beautiful coloration, bright orange, some purple in there as well. Quite a spiky dorsal fin there, and very predatory. Big mouth, lots of teeth, very toothy, but very much in miniature. They do go bigger than this. That coloration is just so vivid and so unmistakable. There's no way that this is the mystery fish I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's looking good. What I'm looking for is said to be able to take out a human being, so I'm going to need pretty serious gear. But this fits the bill. This is basically a variation on what I've used to catch some of the biggest fish I've ever caught. Braided line with a breaking strain of 200 pounds, heavy-duty swivel, and then a big, thick wire hook on the end. So this is pretty serious gear. The light is fading, but that could work in my favour. Many predators become more active under cover of darkness. I don't have to wait long. Something big has taken my bait. And it's not going to come in
without a fight.
This thing is definitely a river monster.
I've been struggling with it for what seems like an age, but the fish shows little sign of tiring.
A couple of very strong lunges.
But finally, I managed to haul it out of the gloom and into sight.
Look at that! This is what they call a banana catfish here, after the yellowish coloration on the belly. I know it more as a pirarara or a red-tailed catfish, and this is a pretty monstrous one. They actually fear this fish in parts of Brazil. They say it takes young children. Maybe this is responsible for causing disappearances in this river. They don't have big biting teeth, but they do have pads that feel like coarse sandpaper.
A fish like this could certainly drag a child to its death.
Right, we're now set up. We've got 2 lines out, 2 baits skittering on the surface, something like 40, 50 yards behind.
Something soon takes the bait.
Here we go, it's a tuna. Oh, that's taken off, that's taken off. It's not a huge fish, but the way that took off when it saw the boat, incredible power for a fish that size. So, yellowfin tuna. And that hit within a few minutes of getting the bait out. This is a very fast fish, very powerful fish. I guess what I'm interested in is what might be out here that's going to make a meal of this.
We reset the lines, hoping for a bigger catch.
Yeah, it's up near the surface. Right, what a fantastic looking fish. This is a fish that has many different names. They call it a dolphin fish, they call it a Mahi-Mahi, they call it a Dorado. One thing that's very interesting about this fish is it has a very extensive range. It's found both in the Atlantic and also in the Pacific. And fast. Everything in this open water is fast. Sometimes to hunt, these are hunters, but sometimes to get away from hunters.
Now, my only remaining chance of seeing this fish is to dive at night.
The thing about going in at night is, for me, it's very much cranking things up another notch, or actually several notches. It's much easier to be disoriented, no real points of reference. Also, your horizon is so much shorter, and what that means is you don't get to see anything off in the distance.
I need to set my fears aside if I'm going to solve this mystery. The water is full of plankton, which I'm hoping will summon a sea serpent up from the murky depths. I wait again for it to appear, this time in the eerie, silent darkness.
There it is! It's here! This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I think more people have seen the Earth from space than have seen one of these this close. Such an outlandish looking thing. I might even touch it. I actually touched it. Oh!
Even so close, it's hard to judge its length, but I estimate it's about 2.5 times my height.
Very, very fast and manoeuvrable. It doesn't flex the body. It's just the fin undulating like a wave.
Oarfish don't have swim bladders, so they can move very rapidly up and down the water column.
Seem to be definitely using the chain as a point of reference. Really follow this up. Look at this. 1 minute it wasn't there, and then suddenly it's right next to me. I can scarcely believe this. It almost came out of another dimension.
I feel so privileged to be in the presence of one of the most elusive creatures on the planet. And just as I think it can't get any better,
There's two. Incredible. Why do they do this? Why are they here? Are they feeding? Are they breeding? Well, this is going to be on film, hopefully. If it wasn't, I think I would doubt the accuracy of my senses. Did I really see what I just saw?
against all the odds, I believe I finally solved the mystery of the sea serpent. It's this extraordinary and exceptionally rare fish, the oarfish, that is the true origin behind the enduring legend.
Too fast for me to follow. It's gone. It's gone.
Maybe 8 to 10 feet, and then just twitch it. Oh, that was something. Twitch. Twitch. And it's got these trailing sort of tendrils, and it's got this rubbery body and a little rattle as well. And I think if you're a predator, you see a movement. You bite first and you ask questions later. Let it sink. Sink. Let it sink. Let it sink. Twitch. 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 Oh, I thought I felt something there. And twitch. And again. Oh. Twitch. Yeah. Hey! Wow. I think I've just seen what the engwesh is. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It comes about 4 feet out of the water. The line sounding like it's in pain, slicing the water. Long and silvery horizontal stripes.
Is this the pack-hunting killer fish I've been searching for?
I think this might actually be the engwesh. From everything I've heard, it definitely fits the description. Streamlined fish, silvery colour, horizontal black stripes, and unmistakable, large, sharp, interlocking teeth. And, well, I actually recognise this as a tigerfish. This definitely looks like it's been doing a bit of hunting. That body, although elongated, is quite, it's very full. It's been feeding. And then those teeth, I mean, that is the tooth the witch doctor showed me. I think we've got a positive ID now on this fish for sure.
So I've matched the teeth from the witch doctor and identified the engwesh. But is it really a fish that attacks in frenzied packs, like the piranha?
Dolphins beside the boat.
This is a really good sign. The rod tip's really banging away there, and that's indicative of the lure down there really pushing out some vibrations. It's like the dinner gong going off, and I've got a good feeling about that.
Out here in the middle of the ocean, there's no significant landmass to stop the huge Atlantic swells.
Then another take on the same rod. This time I'm hoping it will stay hooked.
This is steaming away, steaming away. Haven't seen it yet at all. It's quite a rapid kick, whatever it is. I think I've got a bit of colour. I can see something down there. Oh, there it is, there it is. Got it, I think. Yeah, there we go.
I've landed a silvery fish and an energetic one. But is this the fish that drew first blood?
Skipjack. It's almost like a bit of metal, isn't it? Amazing the energy it's got. It's actually very mirror-like, and actually in open water, that's very effective camouflage. If you're about the same kind of depth as that, it's just going to bounce the light off and it's almost going to disappear into the background. But then if you're looking down on it, it's dark. So it's perfect counter-shading.
I don't think this skipjack is the silvery predator that the eyewitnesses talk about. These fish just don't have the hardware to inflict the sort of wounds described. Mentally and physically prepared, it's game on. It's just me, my guide Johnny, and out there somewhere, a very big fish.
I'm putting into practice the things I've learnt, not just from the fishing captivity, but also the whole business about locating the fish, spotting them, patience, gradually working close so that you're in a position of getting one on the line.
With the water so low in this lake, oxygen levels are depleted. The Arapaima's air-breathing physiology is both its strength and its weakness. It came into existence millions of years before there were hunters like me around, scanning the water surface for that telltale clue.
There's some bubbles actually just coming up in the middle, more or less where my bait is, and that is very likely to be an Arapaima down there on the bottom, grubbing around in the mud. It's very close to my bait. Something took it, but then let go.
Oi. That's a fish on. Oh, that's a sizable old Tambaqui. Hey, strong fish. Oh, Tambaqui. Big old Tambaqui.
This Tambaqui is not the fish I'm after, but it's still quite a catch.
This is a relative of the piranha, but instead of having huge incisors, it's got these enormous grinding teeth on the jaw. The closest thing in nature to the teeth of a Tambaqui is the teeth of a horse. Normally, this thing feeds on a diet of pure sort of Brazil nuts and other seeds. Very, very good flesh, very prized for its eating, but also really, really strong. One of the most powerful fish, pound for pound, that there is anywhere. Yes. Yeah. That's a fish, that's a good fish. Close up. Can see the fish.
As the battle with this Arapaima approaches the half-hour mark, I'm reminded that the rebellious, proud spirit that inhabits this fish even refused to surrender to the gods.
Precisam alguém para pegar. Right, it's going to be There we go. Alikash, meu boss aqui. Oh, look at that, it came out so easily. Pegando.
Yes.
Okay, we're ready. There it is. Look at that for a fish. Look at that. Massive female Arapaima, about 150 pounds.
I finally have the proof in my arms that huge Arapaima are still out here.
This is a true dinosaur of the deep.
I need this fish to regain its strength after our battle before I release it. If I put it straight back, it might not have the energy to swim to the surface to take a breath. And being an air breather, it would drown.
Just the head a little bit under the water and pointing up towards the bank so that if it does thrash, there's only one way it can go. In theory, which is not back into the water, although they can just double around 180 degrees. Even at the end of a long fight, I can still feel the strength of this fish. So I can absolutely imagine this thing being able to knock over. Oh, there we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. Look at boom. That was good. That was the fish just having a breath, which is excellent. It means the fish is not too tired out. But I mean, mainly this fish is just a bony head with a big cylinder of muscle behind it. And if this fish wasn't tired out, I don't think I'd be able to hold it. That's good. No, it's gone. We were just wondering if it had enough strength to go, and no doubt about it, I just couldn't hold it. And in fact, at the end of an epic battle on the line, but also an epic quest trying to find one of these things, but finally feeling the strength of it.
But not all living creatures were able to escape the radiation.
There were fish living in the very water that cooled the reactor, and what I need to